Hey, my name is Malaika and I'm on a journey to lose about 200 pounds and hopefully encouraging you and helping you along the way. And today I wanted to give you a weight update for this year to see where I'm starting for 2023. And also I wanted to share 3 things that I'm doing differently this year. So I wanted to share 3 things that I'm doing differently this year in my weight loss journey. But before I get into that, let me give you a weight update. So my first weigh-in for 2023, I was 250.6, which means I am down a total of 83 pounds so far on this weight loss journey. So things are going well. I'm excited. I'm progressing in my journey at a point that it doesn't really feel stressful. I don't feel overwhelmed or anything like that. I'm just able to lose the weight in a way that fits in with my lifestyle and doesn't make me feel like I'm dieting or anything like that. So I really love that. It's sustainable, and so I know I'm going to keep the weight off and continue to lose weight. So I wanted to share 3 things that I'm going to do it differently this year, and I did a similar video to this last year for 2022, and I really don't remember the 3 things that I shared that I was going to do differently. I do remember one was that I'm going to eat less fast food because I was eating fast food multiple times a week just out of convenience, and so I do know I did that, but I wanted to go back and kind of watch that video and see what I said I was gonna do and see if I actually did it. So let's watch that first, and then I'm going to share the 3 things that I'm going to do different this year. And so what's funny is I can see like the difference in my face now as opposed to then. And I had already lost some weight obviously at this point when I did this video, so my face is slimmer than it was in the beginning, but I can still see a difference even now with the way my face looks, and also my walls painted a different color. But other than that, anyway, let's get into it. All right, let me speed this up. So by the way, do you guys watch videos at 1 speed? I always speed them up, usually 1.25, 1.5. Some people I speed it up 2 times. Let me know in the comments, like what speed do you watch YouTube videos? Typically for me, I do speed them up, even my own videos. This year, and then I'm going to do differently. One is meal planning. And so last year, so one of the things with me is like if I make a meal plan for myself, then most likely I would not eat within that meal plan. Or like if I say I'm going to eat a certain thing on a certain day, then I wouldn't eat it. And so what I would do is usually have a list of things that I want to eat throughout the week. And then like I'll look at the list and say, oh, okay, I want to eat this today. And then that's how I'll kind of pull my meals for the week. And so what I want to change this year is that I'm going to actually start meal planning. I probably won't be meal prepping much at all, but I will plan out what I'm going to eat for the week and have it scheduled. And then whether I want to eat that thing or not, just go ahead and eat it. Because one of the things I found last year that really was throwing me off track is when life would get really busy, then because I hadn't really had a meal plan, I would just kind of eat whatever. Those would be, days that I would go way over my calorie range. I would eat out a lot more during those times when my life got a lot busier, and so again that upped my calories. And so I want to really focus on meal planning, and even if that makes food boring for me this year, then that's what it has to be. So the first thing I had mentioned was meal planning, and I will say I do think I planned out more of my meals this past year than previously. I definitely still don't do meal prepping, but I will kind of make a list of what I'm planning on kind of having for each day of the week as far as dinner, and then kind of fill in with lunch and breakfast. So I don't really plan out lunch and breakfast so much, but I do think I plan better for dinner than what I was doing previously. So I would say I kind of stuck with that because like I said, I do plan out more of my dinners that I'm going to be having throughout the week, but not so much the breakfast and the lunch. So check for that one. The second thing is I'm going to actually have a schedule. So just like with meal planning, I was always kind of a schedule rebel. So I didn't really like having a schedule. And that was one of the things I liked about, having my own business, is that I could kind of do things when I wanted to or when I needed to. And so now I'm actually going to set myself up with a schedule, which is also going to help me manage things better, so that if I do have those busier times, again, I'm not kind of just going all over the place and just eating whatever, because of the fact that I'm so busy now, and now I can't Now I don't have time maybe to prepare a meal or whatever. So that's going to really go hand in hand with that meal planning. So just having that schedule is really going to make me really aware of what's coming up and how I need to plan for that ahead of time, so that it's going to help me with not just my weight loss journey, but just with my life in general and with time management. So yeah, so I actually did that. That's a big check. And the funny thing is, I do like schedules now. I actually was working with a coach to set up a schedule that I would like and not rebel against. And so it's something, it's a really fluid kind of schedule. It's not really strict, but I actually really like it, and I still have my schedule. I still plan out what I'm going to do for the day. So I actually really like that. And shout out to my success coach, Tia. I will link her podcast below, but she helped me a lot with getting a schedule and finding one that I like. So that's a big check. And the third thing that I'm going to be doing differently is I'm not going to be eating out nearly as much as I used to. I used to eat out several times a week. I even did, that one video where I ate out pretty much every meal for a week, and was just talking about the difference in my weight loss when I actually ate in for an entire week after that. And so I'm going to be more intentional about not eating out as much this year. It's not only going to help me on the calorie side of things, but it's also going to help me because if I'm eating at home and preparing my meals more, I know what's going in my food, so I know what kind of nutrition I'm getting. And then also it's going to help with my budget, obviously, because I'm not spending as much money eating out, and we're a family of 5, so it's not cheap whenever we need to go out to eat. So that's going to help me in more ways than one. So yeah, like I said, this is the one that I do kind of remember having as one of my 3 goals for last year. And so we didn't eat out as much as we were the year prior. We still ate out a lot though, fast food and just eating out at regular restaurants. But that is actually one of the things that I'm going to focus on more and being even more strict with, or cutting that down even more this year. So let's get into the 3 things that I'm actually going to do differently this year in 2023. So the first thing that I want to do differently is that I want to get to a point where I am exercising regularly at least 3 times a week. And I know some of you know that I'm a group exercise instructor, I'm a group fitness instructor, and so that probably sounds weird that I'm saying that, but I actually don't exercise unless I have my class. There are days when I'm making up choreography, so I'm exercising on those days, but for the most part, if I don't have an exercise class, I don't exercise. So right now I'm just having classes once a week, and so that would mean that I'm only exercising once a week. And so I want to get in the habit of at least 3 times a week, whether I have class or not, that I am exercising at least 30 minutes that day. And it is good to get a minimum of 5 days a week, 30 minutes a day, but I've got to start somewhere. And right now, like I said, I don't even do 3 times a week regularly. So that's what I'm going to focus on this year, is getting to a point where I exercise at least 3 times a week. And that could just be walking. It doesn't have to be necessarily an exercise class. But that's the first thing that I'm going to do differently this year. The second thing, and this kind of ties back into what I mentioned from last year, is that I want to focus on having more healthy options as far as what I'm eating. If you know, I work within a calorie deficit. I track my calories on an app, and so typically, because of the calorie deficit, I can eat kind of anything and still lose weight as long as I'm in a calorie deficit. Doesn't mean I'm going to feel good eating whatever, but I can still pretty much eat anything if I'm still in the deficit and lose weight. And so I really want to focus on making sure the majority of my calories are from healthier options this year. I know that it's going to help me feel better physically. It's also going to help me look better having healthier options. So I really want to be more intentional about making sure that the majority of my calories that I'm eating on a day-to-day basis are from healthier options. And with that said, kind of a 2B is that I want to only have fast food 2 times a month. So last year I just said I didn't want to eat fast food as much as we were before, but now I actually want to put a numerical value on that. So it'll only be 2 times a month that we are eating fast food. And there may be instances where we may have another time that we're eating, so it might be 3 times in a month. But for the majority of the time, I want it to be limited to 2 times a month. And those times will be on the times that we are going to our in-person service for church, because we meet every other week in person. And my church is a little bit of a distance away from home, so we can grab some fast food on the way home and have that. And I'm also including eating out in general. So not just fast food, but eating out in general with this. So limiting that to 2 times a week. And obviously, if someone wants to take us out to eat and they want to pay for it, we'll still go with them, even if that's over our 2 times. But as far as what I'm planning for our meals, I want to make sure to limit it to 2 times a month. And then also that's going to help with the budget as well. And the third thing I want to do differently this year, like I mentioned, I eat within a calorie range so that I can have a calorie deficit and lose weight. And so this year, what I want to do though is really focus on eating when I'm hungry and not eating when I'm not hungry. So I really want to start learning my body and learning those cues, instead of looking at the fact that I have these calories and I want to make sure I'm eating all my calories for the day. Because there could be times where I'm eating when I'm not hungry just because I know there's more calories there, or there may be times that I'm hungry but I've already ate within my calorie range, and so I'm trying not to go over the range, and so I might not eat. So I want to just really honor my body and the cues that it's giving me this year. And by no means am I doing intuitive eating or anything like that, but just really learning my body and learning to listen to it and honor that. And I believe I'll still be able to lose weight regardless if I'm within my calorie range some days. If I'm over some days, I know I'll still be successful with my weight loss plan. So that's the 3 things I'm doing differently this year in my weight loss journey. If you are changing anything up, let us know in the comments what you plan on doing differently this year for your weight loss or your health journey. I would love to hear it and love for you to share it with others. And by the way, make sure to check out this video, because I did this challenge again now that I'm 80 pounds down, and I'll be posting that video next week. All right, see you later.